Hey everybody. I thought I would go live today on my page and just talk about the group that I have starting tomorrow. I do have one of my mentors. Hey Ellyn,
Hey, how are
how are
you?
you?
I'm great.
How's my audio? Can you hear me? You sound a little bit far away.
Let me turn mine up. Is that better?
Not yet.
Hmm. I could get it closer. You'll have to look at. Is that helping? Let's see.
I can hear you, but it's just very
Oh,
faint.
okay, I'll speak up. Is that better?
Okay, y'all have to yell
Okay.
maybe. I don't know.
All right, I'll yell out.
Well, I thought I would go live on my regular Facebook page, not on my Coach Jessica page. Um, I have just as many followers on my regular page as I do on my Coach Jessica page. And sometimes, people who need to hear a message aren't already connected to community. So
Right.
that's why I decided to do that. But I'm here live with my friend, Ellyn, and I asked Ellyn to join me because we are part of a group that's beginning tomorrow, and I still have about 3 openings for that. But I wanted to share with you what it is. I've done a lot of groups. I think I figured out this morning this might be like number 76. And
Wow.
the groups have been different. I mean, I've done groups that taught you how to eat. I've done groups that, where I talked about addiction. But what I've been doing recently is sharing a message of a greater level of freedom. And it's very different than groups that I've done in the past. I really share in context of breaking strongholds. And, we talk about food as a stronghold in the group, but you really could apply that message of breaking strongholds to any area of your life, anything that has a hold on you, anything that the enemy can use to pull you down and get an unfair advantage over you and get you into destructive behavior. And again, in this new group, the setup's a little bit different. It's an 8-week group. And yes, there's a cost to the group. It is what I do for a living, although I have multiple jobs. Y'all know I'm a realtor and I do other things as well. But the cost is $199 for 8 weeks. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. It is that works out to $25 a week. And some people don't want to talk about money. I'm just going to talk about it. If you are struggling with emotional, compulsive, or binge eating, you are wasting more than $25 a week on those behaviors. And this group can help you break free of those forever. And
Yes.
so I want to take a second and just introduce Ellyn. She's one of the mentors in this group. And not only do you have access to me in the group to teach you, train you, coach you, educate you, you have mentors, 3 of them who have walked the walk themselves, who have had the kind of breakthrough that I want to see for you. And I think it's important for you to hear from other people besides me about breakthrough, because I think sometimes people get the idea that like something special happened to me, but they don't have access to it. And the truth is everybody has access to the kind of freedom that I have uh, felt and achieved and accomplished in my life. And so Ellyn, do you want to just tell a little bit about, maybe not your whole story, but specifically what has changed in you just this last year, where really starting to understand that food is a stronghold, or even other things that are strongholds? What's different for you versus even my old message? Because you've known me for a long time, right?
Yes, yeah. I've known you for several years. I came outside here because I've got two.
It's still a little bit, I can't hear you, and I don't know if other people can. I see that my mom's on. Mom, can you hear Ellyn or no? Because if it's just me, it's fine, but I want to make sure the rest of you can.
I'll come inside and go into a different area. Is that better? No? not
Yeah, I'm waiting
better.
to see if someone says in comments if because we have quite a few people watching, so I just want to make sure, because what you have to say is so important. I want to make sure that it's being heard. If anybody can let
Right.
me know, can you hear Ellyn?
Can anyone hear me?
It literally sounds like a whisper.
um, yeah,
Okay, Selena, my friend Selena says she can hear, so go ahead. Maybe I'm just not hearing you. Go
okay.
ahead.
Okay, super. All right. Um, now I've lost my train of thought.
Well,
What's
the
changed?
question I asked was about what changed in this last year as you started to see food and other behaviors in your life as a stronghold versus your identity, and versus a problem that you're just always going to deal with the rest of your life. Because I think in the past, one of the things that I have put out there is that you should accept certain things about you are a problem, and acceptance helps you deal with it. And now I had to repent a little bit of that message, because now my message is you don't have to accept that. It does not have to be your life. And there's nothing that's attached to you that you can't change and break off forever. So how has that affected you, that message, receiving it, putting it to work in your life?
Oh, it's been life-changing for me. I literally, once I learned to differentiate, and so this is going to sound weird, but we all have voices in our heads. We all have more than one. Some of us have many, but I think I had two. And one was mine, and one was something else that I thought was mine, telling me that I should, when I sit down to watch TV, I should have something to eat. Telling me when I go out to eat with friends, I have to have dessert with them. Telling me when I went to a certain person's house I was going to drink wine, and that was okay. But that wasn't me talking. That was what we call the enemy. Those were voices that was the voice in my head that wants to grab on to things that they know that I struggle against and get me to do it so that I fail. And when I felt like a failure, I gave up. I can't tell you how many times I would have given up. And what I've learned is to differentiate those voices, mine from the other, and be able to say out loud. I just say it out loud. So as people may think I'm crazy at work sometimes, when all of a sudden, no, I'm not doing that. But I literally say out loud, as Jessica has taught, no, I don't eat when I watch TV, or I'm going to go to Jennifer's house and I'm not going to have a glass of wine. I'm going to go to this place and I'm not going to eat these, but I am going to eat this.
Do
Um,
you do you know why that works? Can you there's a word, there's a reason why
oh,
that works when you speak out loud.
because I'm taking authority over my
It's
choice and
authority.
my life. Yes. I don't want to be controlled by anybody else but myself. And this allows me to be in charge. So that out loud is saying to everybody around me and whoever is helping in my head, that enemy voice, saying, no, I'm not going to do it, because that's not what's best for me. And it doesn't fit with my goals.
Authority gives us the upper hand.
Yes.
Um, we all have that enemy voice. We all have an enemy that comes against us, and in different ways. I know for me in my life, it has been different things, but one of the big things has been food and eating and weight and body issues and all kinds of things. But the same message could apply to someone who's struggling with alcohol or drugs or sex addiction or anything that keeps you from fully being the person that you were created to be, is a stronghold.
Oh, yes.
And I think the thing
How
that's
about
so important
depression?
about stronghold versus like addict mentality is that a stronghold is something that's attached to you. A stronghold is rooted in a
Mm-hmm.
lie. Now, you probably don't realize this thing that you believe is rooted in a lie because you've believed it for a long time. But when it comes down to it, most of the things that we are stuck in, patterns of behavior, false beliefs about our identity, false beliefs about what food can do for you, if it's an emotional eating issue or if it's compulsive eating, which you just described, we came to believe certain things. And because we believed it for a long time, we've accepted it as truth. And I think it's so important to understand that it doesn't matter how long you believed a lie, it doesn't make it true.
Right.
And that revelation there is so important, that the truth always is the truth. And honestly, there aren't different versions of the truth. Your experience doesn't change what truth is. That's the great and pure thing about what's true. But seeing those things as a stronghold versus something that's wrong with you. You know, I used to see bulimia, I used to see compulsive overeating, emotional eating as a flaw in me, something that was wrong with me. And the problem with that mindset is that if it's me, if it's truly something that's wrong with me, it's just how I am. And the best that I can hope for is managing symptoms. But if I understand that it isn't something that's in me, I wasn't born this way, but at some point a stronghold, a lie has attached to me, then that thing can be uprooted. And that puts you in a very powerful spot.
Oh, yes.
And you know, I think it's the power of, you know, I used to teach acceptance. I accept I have an eating disorder and this is just who I am and it's how I'm always going to be. But instead, I say for a long time, I believed a lie. One, that I was born this way. And then two, that I just have to accept it's who I am and manage the symptoms. The problem with that is you always, if you believe it's who you are, you're always going to revert back to that behavior over and over again.
Right.
If I believe this is part of me, if I was born this way and it's literally a part of me, there's no way I can get rid of it. Not without dying, right?
Right.
But if it's something that's attached itself to me, if it's a lie that's attached itself to me, then that thing can be cut off. It can be uprooted. And we do that with authority and we do that with truth. I recently spoke on the low carb cruise and I did a brief. It was just a 40-minute message about breaking strongholds and greater levels of freedom. And the response to that was so huge that I actually felt the Lord told me to create this 8-week group. I did not just come up with this. I've been teaching groups for a long time, but this particular thing, I really feel like God gave me. And I believe there are people who are listening or who will listen to this who need this message. Right now, it looks like we just have about 3 openings still in our group that starts tomorrow. It's a private Facebook group. It creates not just an atmosphere for a private place to share the things that you're dealing with. It's not just a private place to heal with other people who are struggling with similar things. It's not just a place to get educated. It creates a community, a safe place where you realize you're not alone. One of the things the enemy likes to do is he likes to isolate us, right? He likes to keep you from joining a community because if he can do that, he can torture you all by yourself. And you also can tend to think, I am the worst. Like, yeah, other people struggle with that, but I'm worse than them. And when you come into a group where you are hearing truth, even if you don't quite believe it at first, there's something about truth that springs up inside of you, and there's a knowing that there's something real there. So, Ellyn, what are your thoughts on some of the biggest, most important, who should be part of this group? And like I said, I like to keep groups relatively small because I do want them to be personal. I want to know every single person that's there. I never want to be like, I would never forget a person that's ever been in one of my groups ever, right? I mean, I can remember, even though I've done so many. So I do like to limit the size of them. But I have a couple of openings, and I believe there's some people who are listening that are supposed to be there. Ellyn, who should take this group? What person? And it's not for everybody. It's for people that are ready to do the work and to receive this message and who are ready and willing to change.
Right. Those that might have some health issues that they've never been able to resolve. The inflammation can do a lot of things in our body, and so can strongholds. I mean, I'm a living proof right now that I named the root of bitterness in my life, and took care of that root and had it uprooted and gone. And I literally lost 5 pounds in a week and a half. Those that are stuck, have you tried, are you one like me that said, I've tried everything and I always gain the weight back? Those folks, if you feel hopeless in an area of that you've been struggling with for whatever, when you get stressed out at work or at home or with the kids and you turn to a certain food or a drink, that's a stronghold, and this will literally help you name that and take care of it. It is a level of freedom that I have never experienced before in my life, and am so, so very thankful for. I really think, I mean, I know, Jessica, you say the group isn't for everyone, and I did individual coaching with Jessica for several months before I joined her group. And she'd been encouraging me to try the group, and I put my feet down and said, no, I'm not going to do it. But man, am I glad I did. Having the support and leadership, people that care, that are leading you, and then others that are kind of in the same boat, maybe not exactly the same boat, but we're all going towards the same island. We're all going towards that same goal of being free from whatever it is that's holding us back and binding us. And it's for you. If you resonate with any of those things, this is for you. And when I used to buy 1 cup of Starbucks a day at 7 days a week, that was 35, $40, maybe more, depending on how foo-foo it was. This is worth it. Gosh, y'all are worth $25 a week. I mean, I've been involved in other diet plans and programs, and I spent a lot more than $100 a month on junk.
Right.
So it's well worth this small investment in my mind.
Well, I've been doing 4-week groups, and they were less structured than this one. So this is a very structured group. In terms of what we're teaching, what week, we get into some deep stuff. Ellyn brought up, you're probably like, well, Jessica, don't you teach nutrition? Yes, I do. But food really is in the background of this thing, right? Food is the thing that you may be using that's causing you to have harm in your body or in your life, but it's really in the background. So yes, we talk some about nutrition. I'll be there to answer your questions about food, but this is really about repeated patterns in your life, identifying them, understanding that no matter how long you've repeated those same behaviors, you can be free. You don't have to keep on doing a thing, no matter how long that thing has been a stronghold in your life. It's really that. But we, especially in the second half of the group, dig into some pretty heavy stuff. We talk about things that can get in your way of getting free, and things like unforgiveness and bitterness and fear. And how do you overcome those things? How do I uproot fear? How do I get the high ground over the enemy when he's attacking me with fear? And so it's so much more than food.
Yeah.
And I really do think you can apply the principles of it to any pattern of repeated behavior, regardless of what it is. For me personally, I was very unwell for a very long time. And I thank God that now it's over 8.5 years of my healing journey. Healing does happen in layers, but God has given me greater revelations of just how free you can be. Because I got to tell you, I used to think that, what freedom would be? Freedom would be I can eat anything that I want, anything, and not gain wait, that would be like the ultimate in freedom for me. And what I've learned over the years is I am in a place of freedom where I feel like, okay, I'm free to eat anything I want to eat, but I am so healed that I don't want to eat things that harm my body.
Right.
That's real freedom. And here's the other thing, I'm not focused on what I eat, how much, when, where, what's going to happen. There's no fear around it. And that level of freedom where you are living your life, pursuing your purpose, and yes, you have one, that level of freedom is available to anyone. And the truth is, food should be in the background of your life.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time I think that I had a level of freedom and I was teaching that, and a lot of people had great results from that. But it was still a level of freedom where I felt the main part of my identity was sobriety. And I say that because we used to say the words food sober and things like that. But in reality, it was still too much part of my identity. I don't want to be known for food. I want to be known for freedom. And I think that's so important that you can be, I want to say clean or on plan or eat, you know, not giving in to temptation, but you still have to fight every day of your life. Every day of our life should not be a fight. It shouldn't. You should not have to wake up constantly warring with the enemy. When you learn what authority is and how to use authority, the fight is, you find out the fight is fixed. You already have won. You wake up with that authority. You don't have to fight the enemy for it. That's the kind of thing we teach you in this group. So I want you to understand what you're getting into. This is not a how to keto or how to low carb group, but if you need that information and you're part of this group, you can also get that. This 8-week group, I'm so excited to say there are 56 days in it. And there are 3 mentors. Ellyn is one of them. And there are days they will do short videos and teach you things and inspire you. And there are days that I will. But 56 times, you get fed. Nutrition, information, inspiration. And like I said, there is a cost to it, $199 and $25 a week to get fed 56 times. And if you are willing and if you go all in on this thing, I believe your life can change forever for 8 weeks. The bottom line is if you're struggling, 8 weeks are going to pass anyway. And we tend to think, we tend to think that nothing's really happening, especially if we're in a negative pattern of behavior. We're like, oh, it's not that bad. I'm not really getting worse. And then suddenly 8 weeks later, we see a picture of ourselves, or we recognize that bit by bit by bit, those little bitty compromises have become this giant issue for us. And so 8 weeks can really be life-changing, and you're going to change in the next 8 weeks. You're either going to slide further into the thing that you're struggling with, or you are going to begin a journey of peeling back those layers and getting freer and freer. Either way, the 8 weeks are going to pass. So I just want to encourage people that consider this. And, you know, I have this group is prayed over. It is Holy Spirit inspired. If you're supposed to be here in this group, come on. If you feel a tugging, like, I really need that message, I need to be part of it, I'm willing to open myself to thinking differently, I'm willing to do the work, come on. We've got room for you. So you can sign up at coachjessica.com, or it's actually even easier, just message me and say, hey, I want to sign up. I can send you an invoice and we can get you in there. We start tomorrow. Our first Zoom call is tomorrow night. Ellyn, do you want to talk about the Zoom calls, what they're like, and the benefit of being there? And there are going to be 8 Zoom calls, 1 each week. But as a participant in the past, what are those like? What's the importance of them?
Oh, it's part of being in community, and it's hearing the voices and being able to interact with people that are in the group and get to know them. So they are recorded, but that's not quite the same because then you're just listening. When you're in the Zoom, we listen, you know, Jessica usually has some kind of a topic or a message for us, but she has a question and we start talking and we start interacting and we share and encourage with each other. And it's just a whole different feel than what I expected when I first started. I am so glad that I did that. And Jessica, I want to go backwards for a second when you said something about if there's something that keeps tugging at you. You, if you're stuck getting on the scale and then all of a sudden you've gotten to the level where you don't want to see anymore, because I was there, that's a sign that this would be a great group for you. And another one is if your wedding ring all of a sudden won't come off. There's another sign for you. It could just be some basic inflammation from heat or whatever. But man, I'm telling you, some of those signs I had that I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't do it anymore. The battle was too
Well,
big.
and you know what? When a battle is too big for you, it's not yours to fight. It's something that you're meant to surrender.
Yeah.
You know, we can get worn out. I think most of the time when people, you know, I hate to use the word relapse, but when people return to behaviors that they've had some semblance of freedom from, the number one thing is they have a false belief about who they are, and they're reverting back to again, who they deeply believe they are. And we want to uproot that sickness as part of your identity, right? Like we want that gone. And I teach you about that. But I think, you know, the other piece of it is when we go back into old behaviors, there is just a false belief about what that thing does for you. So we really drill down and get to the truth of it. And here's the neat thing about the truth. Once you know it, once you know the truth, you can't unknow it.
Right.
And this is an opportunity for you to know and hear the truth. And, you know, some people, I used to think there was a rock bottom when it came to those things, but I got what I thought was rock bottom. You know, when I was struggling with agoraphobia and I wouldn't even leave the house, I was 309 pounds. I was on 17 medications. You would think that was rock bottom. I dug a hole in the bottom of rock bottom and climbed even further down. And, you know, there is a real enemy. He wants to destroy us and he'll use anything to do it. He tried to use food and mental health issues and just lies about who I was to destroy me. And guess what? He lost. But part of it was not really truly understanding my identity and my authority that overcomes every single one of those things. So I truly, truly am excited. I see Kathy commenting. Kathy has signed up for a group. She's going to be part of it. And Kathy, I'm so excited for the freedom that you're going to get through this process. I'm on my phone and keep touching because messages keep popping up. But it's so, and I'm just going to say this, my purpose in that, yes, I have to charge you for it because I have to pay bills. I have to, you know, I have a utility bill. I have all the things that you have. If I was rich, I would do this for free. I mean, honest to goodness, if somehow I became wealthy, I would still do this. I literally would. It is my heart. But I do have to charge because I am a real person and I have bills. And, you know, using a gift that God has given me to help other people, it's my job. And so I would do it for free if I absolutely could. And maybe one day I'll be able to. But I think there's something about making an investment in yourself. I can tell you, I've given people free coaching before and they didn't do very well. And I think part of that was because they didn't invest. They didn't see it as valuable. So you thinking, hey, you know, I can spend $25 a week to invest in myself. I think there's something about that you've got to sacrifice something, whether it's that Starbucks or, the fast food, whatever it is you're spending $25 on, it isn't that much when it comes down to it. I'm not saying it's not a sacrifice. I know. I have to be careful where I spend my money, but making an investment with yourself, I've actually had better results for people that pay than people who I have gifted this to. And I have done that many times over the year, and I've seen that repeatedly. So anyway, I'm just thrilled to offer this to you. I hope that those last 3 people or so that really, really need this will contact me to sign up, or you can go to my website, coachjessica.com, and sign up. But you can message me, you can text me, you can email me, and we will get you going in this group. And it's going to be a very, very good thing. I believe in it wholeheartedly. Ellyn, last words. What would you say to someone who's like, oh, I'm not sure, I might need it, but I don't know?
Oh, I would say just take the leap and try it. It's just 8 weeks. It's gonna fly. And you may be really, really pleasantly surprised at what you learn about yourself and what you're able to cull out of your life that needs to be culled out.
And that's from someone who I had to twist her arm to join many, many months ago. But that's the value. It's very different than what you think about with group coaching. It is personal. I do, like I said, we have a relationship with everyone in the group, which is why I do limit the size of it, because I don't want it to be bigger than my ability to fully know people. So,
and the cool thing is you can always message Jessica, you can message any of us mentors individually if you are not comfortable going to the group. But we would hope that you would get comfortable going to the group, because when you go there with a question or a concern, that helps other people learn and grow too. And that's the key, that we're learning and growing together.
well, yes, and on that note, I think, there's a lot of shame sometimes attached to food behavior. I mean, that's the biggest thing. People will message me and ask a question, and I will say, I want to answer you, but I want you to ask this in the group, because when you shine a light on anything that's darkness, anything that's shameful, when you shine a light on it, I'm telling you, it just the light that you shine on darkness obliterates it. But shame is gone when you share in a safe place. But other people will be like, oh, me too. I thought it was just me.
Yeah.
So again, there's so much power in community, and it is a safe place. It is a private group. No one can see that you're in it. None of your friends or family can see that you're part of this group, only those of us who are there. But you will be assigned a mentor in the group, but we're all available for you every single day. And we look forward to just speaking life into you 56 times over the next couple of months. And I can't wait to see what the results are going to be. But I felt so strongly to go live today and just put it out there. And maybe you haven't seen, or maybe you're like, I don't know about group coaching, I've never done that. But I just felt strongly in my heart to invite you to join that if you feel like it might be for you. If you need to pray about it. I don't do anything without praying about it. Nothing. So if you may right now know in your spirit something's leaping up in you and saying, maybe this is for me. I am in a pattern of behavior. I am in a cycle that I have not been able to break free. Or maybe I've broken free of the cycle, but I'm so exhausted from battling the thing every day. That is no way to live. No. It is a level of freedom, but it is not as free as you can be. And that is what I'm interested in, seeing you get free. So thank you, Ellyn, for being on. Again, if you guys have any questions, you feel free to message me. You can comment actually on this video, and I can send you information that way. If you want to know more about me, I do have a website, Coach Jessica. It's Jessica with a Y, Coach Jessya. You can visit my website. There's a ton of podcasts that I've been on that you can hear my story in depth. You can read about what I offer and what my philosophy is, and just reach out. And again, we start tomorrow. So it's not too late for you to join if this is right for you. Ellyn, thank you so much for being on. Sometimes people just need to hear about it from somebody besides me. It's so important for you to know that it wasn't a special thing that just happened for me. It has happened for so many people. Freedom is possible for anyone and everyone. It's available to everyone. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a
All
great
right,
day, everybody.
we're going to sign off. Enjoy your day. And again, feel free to post questions in the comments section, or you can message me. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye-bye.